I'm going to actually introduce our next panel. It is a panel of amazing, bold, and unstoppable women that are leading the future. And that's going to be the topic of this next session. I'm going to call to the stage first Dr. Melissa Noland-Chester. She is a powerhouse broker and educator leading Red Phoenix Realty and real estate school with a mission to build generational wealth. Can we give her a round of applause as she makes her way to the stage? Miss Yanira Cardona is the CEO of Yaya Productions and serves as the mayor's Hispanic outreach coordinator. She's bridging culture and community through events and advocacy. Let's give Miss Yaya a round of applause. And Dr. Shelita McGowan is the co-founder of McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation Center, empowering families through holistic healthcare and entrepreneurship. Welcome. Okay, I'm gonna slide up here. Y'all, I'm gonna come. I know it's okay. I'm gonna do the little church. Get on over here with my questions, ladies. It is such a pleasure to see you. I'm gonna have you grab your mics and turn them on so the little green button is up. Everybody, we need to do a sound check, a mic check.
1 2 1 2.
Okay.
1 2.
Hey, look at us. So, real quick, I really want to hear your story. What does being bold in your industry look like? That means so many things for so many different people, but what does it mean to be bold in your industry?
I'll start. So, my background's more in the entertainment world, in radio and television, more radio than anything else. So I work in a male-dominated field, which is not fun sometimes because of the machismo, and all of that we tend to get.
Yep.
And if you're a woman with some kind of body figure, and if you wear some kind of outfit, sometimes men
You got a
can
curve or a...
Yeah.
I got you.
And before I used to try to hide all that because I wanted them to take me serious and professional, but now I'm
Unapologetically.
Thank you, Spanish.
We got you.
Spanish is my first language, okay? Hooked on phonics did not work for me. I'm just myself, even with my Spanglish. I rock my curls. I rock my nose ring everywhere I go. And because I'm authentically myself, doors have been opening more and more for me.
That's
so
good.
I think when you're your authentic self,
Yep.
so many opportunities open for you.
That's phenomenal. Dr. Chester?
So being bold in my industry. First
Yes.
off, which industry are we referring to?
I know. So I've had the privilege of working with you in a couple different capacities, and so I was like, well, which
being
one?
bold for me is
Yes.
being just that in multiple industries.
Good.
So I am a former college professor, so education is the background of anything that I do. I transitioned into real estate. So transitioning into real estate, I got into being a real estate instructor, owning my own school, managing broker, owning broker, still at the instructions phase. So I think for me, being bold is no matter what space you're in. Oh, and I also own my own nonprofit. I do professional development conferences for Black educators and those teaching Black children every summer, and I'm on my 10th annual conference. So It's always centered around education for me,
Okay.
but being bold is just whatever space you decide to enter into, make sure you are being your authentic self and you're working in the talents that are best suited for you. Like I know that I am a teacher by heart. So any space I land in, I'm trying to teach. I'm trying to educate.
That's really good. Authenticity and alignment. I love that.
Okay, so being bold to me, I'm a chiropractor, everyone, and that is a male-dominated profession, a white male-dominated profession. And so when they see a Black woman of my size having a business with my husband, and they're like, oh, you can adjust me? Or you can do this, or you can do that? Because they're looking for the strength. And when you own something here, you can move anything. It's something that is within me that made me even go to chiropractic school in the first place, because it is a challenge to do. But because I love it and I walk in it, I breathe it, and I want my patients to feel better, that's boldness to me. So when I get the looks or I don't see a lot of women doing this or this, that, and the other, I keep going. And so the main thing is mindset. So being bold to me is having a mindset of boldness.
I love it. Authenticity, alignment, and mindset. This is good already off the top. Listen, so what was the moment that you realized or decided that you were unstoppable? Yeah, you got heavy hitting questions. We want to know.
Question. I think for me, it was when I went to Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University. Go Rattlers!
Come on, Rattlers!
And I flunked out. I went on an academic scholarship.
That's real.
I went on an academic scholarship, and my sophomore year, I flunked out. I got a .75 GPA.
Oh,
and I had to sit out of school for a little bit, and I became a sandwich artist at Subway to save up some money. And I got back in school. I came on academic scholarship. I lost my scholarship, sat out, came back. I was like, I have to graduate with honors, so I graduated with cum laude. I went back and got my master's because I was like, there is no way that I can look like this. I got my master's. Of course, I graduated with a master's, 3.9, and then I also went back and got my doctorate. So I think for me, it was the fall down, realizing that just because I fell down, I didn't have to stay up. So I knew then I was unstoppable because even going to college, I had suffered many, many traumas. I had been molested. I had 2 near-death experiences as a child. I had witnessed someone being murdered in front of me, and all of this was before the age of 10.
Okay.
So going to college, I didn't realize it was because I was unstoppable, but flunking out of college and going back, I realized that I was her.
Okay.
Okay. So being unstoppable to me is when I first started McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation Center, I went to various places looking for a job. And none of the doctors wanted to hire me because they viewed my husband as the competition. So I got told no over and over and over again. And then when I did get the job, they were like, so what is your husband doing over there at so-and-so's office? Do they do this? Do they do this? So they were like trying to sift me for information. And so I ended up quitting. One job in particular, I didn't even go back after lunch. I just didn't. I just didn't. And so after that, I told Royce, I was like, look, either I'm going to change my profession all the way, or I have to start a business. He's working somewhere, and I'm trying to start a chiropractic business. So we're both looking at each other like, well, which way we go? So trying to show strength in that was hard. So what I did was I started the business. My husband was working somewhere else. So I ran McGowan Spinal by myself for about 9 months. Wow. My husband was working somewhere else. He called me on his lunch break and said, I just quit my job. And I was like, well, I said something, but I was like, you did what? I was like, you did what? I was like, we got a baby, you quit your job. We need health insurance, we got all these things. And he was like, well, why would I help somebody else build their dream when we can build it together? And here we are 22 years later. So my goal is, just tell you, keep going. And I'm telling you, mindset is everything.
Good.
Mine was, I'm going to try to make a long story short. So my background is in radio, and I helped open a reggaeton radio station in Orlando. It was the first ever 24/7 reggaeton radio station. We helped launch Bad Bunny's career, everything. His first music video was shot in our radio station. Wow. Anyway, so in that radio station, the radio programmer smacked me in my face. Yes.
Wait a minute.
Like real life,
like open hand.
Like open hand.
Like
a
what
male.
type of slap?
Okay. Yeah.
A male.
A male.
Tell it.
Yes. So it was. This person had. I was the only woman in the radio. It was 5 males. The owner. I was a general manager. He was a radio programmer, and he's like the DJ Funk Master Flex. In the Spanish world.
I got you.
So he was Daddy Yankee's DJ, all these. So he's known in the world.
Well known.
So I hate to say this, but we had like a bully atmosphere. We used to kind of like make fun of each other. And since he was Daddy Yankee's best friend, at that time, there was a huge concert with Daddy Yankee and Don Omar coming to Orlando, and everybody thought that he would get the contract, and he didn't. I got the contract for us.
Come on.
So that, everybody started just teasing him, and that really got to him. And he ended up just, like, getting, like, anger with me, I guess. Mm-hmm. One day, we were giving away tickets for a circus, and the winner, there was 2 pieces of papers that we had to give the winner. We just moved to a new office. I didn't realize that the staple, I'm talking to somebody, but I didn't realize the staple gun didn't have any staples because it was still making the noise. Mm-hmm. The winner comes, gets the paper. He only gave him 1 paperwork. So the winner complained, and now he had to go take the additional paperwork to the winner's house. So he was upset that now he has to go drive and all this. Mm-hmm. So I get to the office, and he starts screaming at me like if he was my dad. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on? Hold on. And he gets to my face, like legit. And I'm like, what are you going to do? And at this point, he pushes me. And of course, I push him back. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he straight up like slapped me in my face. And it was one of those moments that I was like, I'm either we're gonna kill each other right now, or let me just gather myself, call the cops. I have witnesses. Let's do this. So I went through a really bad depression after that. I went to Puerto Rico. That was in 2017. My grandmother died on my birthday that year. Hurricane Maria came to Puerto Rico. I bought a house while Hurricane Maria. So that was a whole thing. And then God, for some reason, kept, Jacksonville has a boomerang effect. How many of y'all have left and come back? Jacksonville definitely has this boomerang effect. And God just kept putting Jacksonville in my head like I wasn't done here. And working in radio here in Jacksonville, in the Hispanic market specifically, the Landing, I did 3 festivals for them in 2014. It was the first time they ever had a Hispanic festival. Wow. It was sold out to the max. And so when I came back, Janice, the director of the Landing, was like, hey, Yaya, we want you to do another Hispanic festival for us. But I was like, I'm not working with no radio. I don't have no major company backing me up. Yep. And she was like, well, didn't you do this yourself? Like, just because you had a company backing you up, but you did the work yourself. Right. And I was like, you're right. And that's when Yaya Production started. That's when the first Viva La Fiesta came out. And I tell you, I did it myself. Like, I got the sponsors, the organizations. Come on, Yaya. And that's when I knew I was unstoppable. Yeah, girl. Once I did that, I was like, all right, we got this.
I love that story. Like, just across all of your stories, there's a introduction of both adversity and a decision. Like, you decided, okay, no, I'm going to do it. And at that point, you did it. Like, you're sitting up here kind of looking back on it like that was the moment. So when you think about the risks that you've had to take in your walk and in your careers, what risks have you had, bold risks have you had to take to get to where you are right now?
I can answer. If y'all okay with that. Okay. Money.
Okay. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about money.
Yes.
Money, people don't like to talk about money. But when we started our business, I had to go to different banks to ask for a loan. Because, Royce was working somewhere else. Like I told you, I quit my job. And it was sink or swim at that point. I would go to different banks, and they would tell me no. And they would say, like, let's say I wanted to borrow, this one guy in particular, I wanted to borrow $75,000. And that was to get the equipment and everything. He said, well, you need to give me $50,000 in order for me to give you $75,000.
Wait a minute, the math.
And I said, now, if I had $50,000 to give you,
the math ain't math.
I wouldn't need $75,000.
Right.
And he was like, no, we need collateral. Put your house up. Put your car up. He came at me hard. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you, I still see that man to this day. It is an African-American banker who has been trying to get my business now for the past. When I tell you money will stall you if you're not, again, in that mindset. You ever heard the term, it takes money to make money? Mm-hmm. So when you become fearful of spending your money, in something that you know is going to give you high return, you need to question, why are you doing this in the first place?
Talk to the people.
Don't be afraid to spend money. If you believe in what you're doing and you know this has value, but you don't want to put $2,500 into your business, you'd rather put it on your back, you got to check yourself. And I'm not trying to say, oh, don't have nice things, because I love nice things. But you have to prioritize. And when you want a business and you want it to grow and you want it, don't do it half-fast. Please don't. Put your money into your business, pay yourself later, and let it grow. Don't be afraid to be cash poor, but you're rich in value.
That's good. Girl,
That's
yes. Yaya, I'm going to
I
you.
mean, it's kind of the same message.
Okay.
I tell people all the time, I'm like, when you're going to start a business, it's scary because you don't know how much you're going to make, and it's scary. I don't make money off of my festivals. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't do festivals to make money because all of my festivals are free. If I was charging at the door, then that's different. But all my festivals, I want to do it, it has some kind of educational background in it. And I grew up with my cousins. My aunt and uncle had 5 kids, and they were never able to go to events because, so I make sure that all my events are free so those families can come. But it's scary to do events like that and invest in yourself. I tell people all the time, I know we need to have money to survive, but if you're doing things specifically just for money, 9 times out of 10, I hate to say it, it's not going to work out because you're not doing it with good intentions. I had somebody that reached out to me years ago that wanted to do a festival, and their intention in it was wrong. They wanted to do it because someone else did a festival. They wanted to do it because someone else did a 2-day festival so they could do it. They wanted to do it. And I'm like, so are you doing it to show off? And guess what? Their festival was not good.
Right.
Because the energy you're putting out there is bad. So when you do something with your heart, with good intentions. Understand that you're gonna lose money, but it's going to come. 9 times out of 10, it takes 2 years for you to really start making money in your business. And if you think about McDonald's and Coca-Cola, they still spend millions of dollars on advertising and marketing, and they don't need it, and yet they still do. So what makes you think that you as a small business owner should not be investing in your business? So don't be afraid to invest in yourself, spend more money in yourself, and do things with the right intention.
That's good.
And I just want to add to, before Doc speak, it's that song mentality. I don't know if y'all all are familiar with that song by Drake, Started from the Bottom, Now We Here. I'm telling you, if you talk to yourself, you will see how the money will eventually come. But you just got to spend the money first.
That's good. Dr.
I
Melissa?
think the biggest obstacle is being a black woman. In all the spaces. The first space, sport management. I have a PhD in sport management. Just like sport, when you think of sport, upper level sport, not the game, but the upper level management, is dominated by white males. Well, so is sport management pedagogy, and so is white males. So being a black female, there's always been issues with that. Being an attractive black female,
Talk about it.
even more issues. Yeah. And then because of that, so then you have your white male counterparts who kind of doubt your skill sets. They're thinking you got there for another reason. Even when you have a doctor, even though I have a doctor from a Research One school, Florida State University, there are still those things that are being said, you're here because of something other than your accolades. And unfortunately, when it comes to being a black woman, that is also with other black women. I'm just going to say it, right? Speak about the elephant in the room. More often than not, I've had other black women who have been my biggest obstacles. Wow. I am a community person. I believe in collaboration. I want us all to win. And so I open up. I share all resources, all assets, everything, and I have been bitten more than once. So what I will say is about being that black female, trusting and going with my discernment was also an obstacle, because sometimes I knew better, but I still did it because I felt bad about it. Like, but something's telling me not to go this route. But but I want her to win too. And I should not have, because she was sabotaging me. As they say, don't be in a boat. Make sure you know who's in the boat, because
Yeah.
sometimes somebody's drilling holes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. So what I hear is trust your gut, know your like really tap into your discernment,
Yes.
right? To do it for the right reasons and to be willing to invest in yourself, right? So as you're thinking about, those are kind of the biggest risks that you've learned and you've taken. I love that. What role has community? Dr. Chester, you talked a little bit about community. So we're going to start with you in talking about what role has community played in you being bold and in your success.
Honestly, I think community is the reason that I have been successful in everything that I'm in. Everything that I do, it starts with service. I am a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and community service is our first thing behind sisterhood. And so when it comes to community service, anything that I do in real estate, I'm serving. I am the immediate past president of an organization that does home ownership, financial literacy, wealth building for those that are underserved. When it comes to being in the collegiate space, I ran mentoring programs for youth. And so community for me, community, when you spell community, there's a big U in it. Without you, there is no community. And so we have to make sure we're doing our parts in community. And so community at the core is everything for me, serving community.
Yep.
So I like not community, but serving community.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I consider myself a community champion. Everything I do is for my community. I'm an only child. Mom says that I had the energy of 80 kids in one. So my mom had me in Girl Scouts from a young age, had me in golf lessons, had me in everything she could put me in.
Yes.
So, and because of my community, I never felt the loneliness of being an only child. And so everything I do specifically is for my community.
Okay.
Like the festival I do, Viva la Fiesta, although it's a Hispanic festival, I do it for my Hispanic community, but I really do it so everyone else can come and learn about our culture.
That's good.
And experience something different, you know? And I just did a chalk art competition. It's our 5th year. It's the biggest chalk art competition in Northeast Florida. And we do that to build community so we can inspire our little kids. So we have elementary, middle school, high school, and adults competing. But we really do it so we could keep inspiring kids to do the most. As we know right now, what's going on with our political world, the arts community is getting attacked. What community is getting attacked right now? But the arts community is obviously feeling it. And so we wanted to do something to build community. And so without my community, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now, honestly. Even with my dyslexia, with my hyperness, if it wasn't for my community, them opening doors, like Ashante Green is here, Belkis Plata is back there, has opened doors for us, and that's what it's all about. When you have your community and you find them, you truly find your purpose.
Good. Dr. McGowan?
That's really good. So community for us is like when we first started our practice, we were across the street from Memorial Hospital. And so my husband, when he decided that we were going to do 2 offices, he said, well, we need to go to the north side because that's our people. We need to be able to serve them, give them quality health care. We opened up in 32206, which, as you know, is a food desert, healthcare desert. It is a desert. And when I tell you God has blessed us for coming into the community, not being afraid to sit there and serve our people, to give back to the local high schools, to give back to the various churches and different organizations. Sometimes when we first started, when my husband would give, it would be like everything we were making, he was giving back. And I would be looking like, oh, Lord. And he's like, I got this. And when you give back and you're giving from the heart, it comes back to you 100-fold. So you're not doing it for an atta girl or an atta boy. You're not doing it for the public recognition because they're going to see it, they're going to feel it. But your name doesn't have to be, you don't have to have your name plastered if you help somebody pay their light bill, if you help a school do this or you help them do that. So when you give back to community, don't always look for that spotlight. Community comes from within. So if you want to give back, you give back. If you don't want to, don't, because it's not in your heart. So I'm telling you, community is where you try to find your niche. I love children. Anything children, if I could give to it, I'm going to give to it. My husband, he loves everybody. So he gonna give to everybody. So but for me, it's very children based. So if you find what community you love, what you want to give back to, you give it from the heart, you show up. You're not looking for, oh, come up here and talk. You're not looking for all that. You're fine in the background. You don't need the spotlight when you're doing it for your community.
That's right.
Because it's going to come back to you, and people will know that you pour into the community and you don't have to say a word.
That's right.
Everybody else is going to speak for
They'll
you.
see it. That's
So they will speak for you. If your name is not up here or back there, you got 100 people that'll speak your name.
That's right.
So just remember that.
Speaking your name in rooms that you're not even in because your reputation precedes you. That's
right.
really what it's about. What bold decision are you ladies making right now in your businesses, in your industry, that is going to shape the future?
Well, right now, working with the city has been interesting for me.
Okay.
I never expected to be in politics, and here we are. One, because I'm very emotional and I'm very vocal. I'm not afraid to speak up for my community. What was the question again?
What bold move are you making that are going to shape the future?
So right now, I'm not afraid to speak up for my community. Although I represent the mayor, but I'm not afraid to get my hand slapped and be like, hey, Yaya, you're not supposed to say that. I'm okay with saying it because someone has to speak up for them. If they put me in this position to be, what's that word? Just a token. They got the
yes.
wrong one.
Yeah.
And so right now, more than anything, what's going on with my immigration community, I don't want to get emotional because it's a very sensitive topic for me. I'm not afraid to speak up for them.
Good.
And I'm not afraid to let the mayor know what the community feels. Even if it's ugly, I'm going to let it be known. So more than anything, it's time to speak up and not stay quiet, especially now with what's going on. So I'm happy we're talking about community because we need to get involved regardless. I don't know what you guys are in, but you need to get involved in your community. You get your kids involved from a young age too. Teach them from a young age.
That's good.
But more than anything right now, I am not afraid to speak up for my community because we need it.
Dr. Chester?
So mine is going to be right in line with hers. So my organization, Black Educators Rock, obviously Black Educators Rock, we already know that we're under attack. And so I host an annual professional development conference every summer for educators. That's superintendents, assistant superintendents, principals, teachers, librarians, anybody in a school setting. Well, I'm Black Educators Rock. And so what I'm hearing now, because we have that in the summer, we get them ready for the upcoming year. And so they get what's called professional development dollars. And so what's being said now is, oh, we can't pay you because you're Black Educators Rock, right? I can't attend the Rock conference because you're Black Educators Rock. Even though white people attend, anybody can attend the conference. It's Black educators and those teaching Black children, which is everyone. You're teaching Black children. And so what's being bold for us is we're at our 10th annual this year, and we're still having it. We're not, if I have to let everyone come for free, those who cannot say, hey, my school won't pay for it. If I come, I could lose my job. I can't use that. So what we'll be doing is we'll be giving them sponsorships. So what's being bold for us is in Houston, Texas, we are still going to have the Rock Conference.
Come on.
We're still going to rock. We're still going to be unapologetically
Yes.
Black Educators Rock.
Yes.
And we're going to continue to educate people how to educate our children.
I love that. Dr. McGowan?
That's good. So with being bold or what I'm doing next is actually this. Talking to people, pouring back into people. Let me see, 16 years ago, I was involved in a home invasion robbery at gunpoint. So the guys got life in prison, and I just found out last week that one of the guys died in prison. And when he robbed me, he was 24, so he was just about to turn 40. And so that transitioned me into a state of depression anxiety, PTSD. So I was functioning, smiling, going through all the things, but I was hiding that on the inside. And so when I think about being bold and what's next, it's telling people to walk in their truth. It's walk into what God has called you to do. And when He has touched me to come out and speak to people about how to start a business, how to overcome depression and anxiety, how to pour into children, pour into women, I listen and I do, because it is a calling. Your career is a calling. Your job, your whatever you're doing right now. If it's something in you that you want to change, be bold enough to change it. Stop letting fear control how you move. Stop letting that one step or that one friend or somebody who don't believe in you and what you're doing have them stop you. That is why we don't have the practice anymore on the South Side. It's because after that robbery, I had to close that practice because I was scared to go in there by myself. So even though we were moving anyway to have 2 offices, that quickly became 1, only because of that incident. And it paralyzed me for a very long time. So if you're in a position and you're trying to figure out which way do I go next, how do I move? If it's something down in you telling you, as the old people say, telling you to go ahead, do it. Build your business, write the book, be bold enough to come out and say, hey, I'm going to start speaking. As the sign says, think bold about yourself. And don't let anybody come pour anything negative back into you. So that is boldness. That's how I see boldness. That's how boldness is resonating within me. Because when you done been through the fire, can't nobody touch you. They gonna talk about you anyway. They gonna say everything they want to say anyway. So as Mel Robbins say, let them. Let them talk. But you keep going, and then you'll be looking back and like, hey, y'all still back there, but I'm over here now. So, but you got to move. And so think bold, carry that in your heart, and whatever it is that God is calling you to do, future entrepreneurs, authors, entertainment, move with it and go and just keep going.
That's good. That's really, really good. So as we wrap, I want to get your thoughts. When you're thinking about being bold and moving past fear and moving past whatever hurdles may be in your way, what is it that you hope to leave this next generation of bold leading women and leading entrepreneurs? What legacy would you like to leave? What do you want them to inherit?
Right now, who's in college. And I tell her now, she's 19. I said, you have to start networking now. Learn how to talk to people now at a young age. So my legacy to my children is to don't be afraid to walk up to somebody, introduce yourself, talk about, kid things, and for her, talk about things that you want to do. Because even as adults, networking is hard. If you're not used to walking up to somebody saying, hey, what industry are you in? And how do you don't know them, you're the only one in the room, you're scanning the room to see who you can make eye contact with to talk. My goal is to leave that legacy with my children is you start early.
Awesome.
You do it now.
Awesome. Yaya?
Oh, man, that is a tricky question. To be authentically yourself wherever you go, honestly, yeah. It's just, as soon as I stop being, have you guys seen that movie, Sorry to Bother You, I think it's called. It's a movie where they have a white voice. And it's crazy. It's a really good movie. And he works in a call center, and they put on this professional voice, and he calls it his white voice.
Okay.
And when I saw that movie, I was like, man, we all have that.
I'm
not going to call it a white voice. We all have that professional voice, right? That switch.
Yes.
But once I realized, I was like, I don't want to be that switch anymore. I just want to be my authentic, dyslexic, Spanglish self.
Come on.
who loves to have a good time and unite the community. That's the legacy I want. And I just want them to be themselves. Believe in yourself, whatever it is the case may be. Understand you're going to have a little fear, but don't let that fear take over. And once you really start being yourself in these rooms, I can't help but explain, but you really do find your purpose.
Yep.
Doors start opening up for you. You find your community. So stop this persona that you have. If you have this professional persona, I'm going to tell you right now, drop it and be your authentic self. You can see us. Yeah. We're being our authentic self up here. And it works. So just be your authentic self. Honestly, it's the best advice I could give anyone.
I love it. Dr. Chester.
I know.
Your
big personalities. My second, since it's not be yourself, because it was be beautiful, BEYOUTIFUL, be beautiful. If not that, then do not allow anyone else's limitations to become yours.
Oh, say that again, please, for the people in
Do
the
not
back.
allow anyone else's limitations to become yours. I think many times we don't walk in our greatness because we listen to naysayers. And many times we're our biggest naysayer. And so understanding that you have everything that you need to be successful, either within you or within your grasp. And so if we just understand that fear is false evidence appearing real, and you understand that it is everything that you want is on the other side of fear. If you are scared, do it scared.
That's good.
I do not believe in letting anything or anyone stop me from doing anything I want to accomplish. Hence, I've had 20,000 different things I've done. Right? So be unapologetically yourself and be unafraid.
Got you. Don't be afraid to network. Do it early. Do it often. Be authentic. Be yourself. But do it. Whatever it is that your purpose to do it. Do it afraid. Do it scared. Do it unknowing, because you have everything that you need. I love this, ladies. I don't want to stop, but I have to.
Good moderator. Thank you.
Thank you. This is fun. Listen. So how can people stay connected, get connected, find out what's going on next? Like how do we follow you and connect? I'm gonna start.
So website Solution to Success has all of the different things, from the speaking engagements to the Black Educators Rock to Red Phoenix Realty to everything else. So solutiontosuccess.com.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Instagram, Yaya Love Jax. LinkedIn, Yanira Cardona. My name starts with the Y. And that's the best way, honestly. LinkedIn or IG.
Awesome.
And I'm Dr. Shelita on Instagram and Facebook. And so, or you can find me on the McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation Center.
Phenomenal. Awesome, ladies. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate your time today. Was this good for y'all? Good. Okay, I'm gonna do my Vanna White and walk on the other side of the. We're gonna walk on over